Итак, идем к Джойс. Стачка уже которую неделю идет. Танцы в тряпье. Да уж. Мне особо не нравится такая погода, когда снег только выпал. И уже идет дождик. Весело, да. Это не похоро. Приятное времяпрепровождение. Что это такое там стояло? Желтый полиэтиленовый пакет фритте. Ух ты, отлично. Собрать тару на улице. Так, активный инвентарь это что вообще? Так, вот и тара. Потом будем сдавать ее. Отлично. Люди еще будут нас благодарить за это. Тара. Отлично. Бизнес начинается. Кейпсайд. Elysium Дисленд. Северный объезд. Так. Там наверху какая-то девчонка. Она пролила краску. Так, говори.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
Продолжай.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Мы лишь хотели узнать, как вас зовут, юная леди. Не нужно принимать нас в штыки. Так, да.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Пикс, да, огрызается. Что ты делаешь с этой стеной?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
Так,
I haven't really started.
то есть ты не знаешь, что написать?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
У меня есть свое мнение по этому поводу. Поделиться?
Yeah?
Я люблю паблик-арт. Не обращай на нас внимания. Продолжай творить. Мне придется остановить тебя. Это же хулиганство. На самом деле, нет мне никакого мнения. Я тебя обманул. Давай первый.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Да, захлестнет.
She means the opposite.
Даже.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Тоже плюс. Ты постоянно куда-то косишься. Что там?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That's on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ты имеешь в виду Джойс?
On a first name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Погоди-ка, Озон, где это?
It's where they grow whores like her and their whoremen.
Жуть, откуда столько негатива?
Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor?
Ужас. Тебе что-нибудь известно о недавнем убийстве?
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No
Какие приятные
shortage of
люди.
squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
Да,
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
до свидания.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Так, попробуем мамушке постучать.
A sturdy metal door guards the door rattles.
Stop banging on the door! The police? No, go check the
Backyard door.
Кешки. Да. Итак, говорим Джойс.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
Да, я тоже. Поглаживая свой плащ, такой же мокрый, как и у нее.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. Am I right?
Да, все так. Вы что-нибудь знаете об этих татуировках?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
То есть вам что-то известно об этих татуировках?
Better not tie the fourth day to the back's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Ничего себе. Итак, проводить ли?
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Погодите-ка, а где конкретно расположены эти ваши глаза?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire...
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
Уж очень подозрительно осведомлена она во всем этом.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Наш авторитет можно в карман положить.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Вы сказали резня?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Да уж. Я уже наслышан о том, что самосуд связан с забастовкой. Вам не нужны ваши показания.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Вам нужна охрана?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Угу. 3 прибыли, 1 уже висит. Его давно забрали, только тапочки оставили. Интересно, еще 2 кто доходит.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Блин, то есть у нас есть какой-то таймер.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Да, ну и кашу вы тут заварили. Должен признать, это вообще не диско. Диско. Может, нам удастся объединить эти расследования? Я имею в виду поделиться ресурсами и информацией. Ну и дела. Добром это точно не кончится. Ладно, про объединение.
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
Да, и там снежником так расти будут. Ой, не нравится мне вот эта фраза, что найти достойного виновника.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
Да, как-нибудь. Баба-яга, Джон Уик.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Жуть. А вам не кажется, что вы описываете слишком мрачный исход?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Ну капец. Какая-то жуть. Что вы знаете о Корнеле?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Нифига себе, Даунвелл.
Down a deep black well.
Да.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
У них тут есть еще и страны четвертого мира. Ну,
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes, all the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
да, мы уже запросили информацию по его броне.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Вы можете связаться с компанией?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Вы сказали, что погибший напал на женщину.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Поговорить с этими подростками. И кто же ее получил?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
Боже мой.
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
Которую спустили Сверху профсоюзов.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
Или борща хлебнул.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Понятно, что за женщина.
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Интересно, это не та рулевая дама?
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
Скажите, этот полковник, которого повесили, вы знали его?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Да уж. Расскажите мне сначала об остальных.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Ничего себе.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Где сейчас остальные наемники?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
Ну да.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
И все-таки нам нужно знать, где они.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Высокие шансы.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Опа. Ой, логика. Нифига себе.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Угу. Должна быть один из них, стоящий у портовых ворот верзила в рабочей одежде не по размеру. Лидер антистачников.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Да, вероятно, один из них расположился в здании и наблюдает за перекрестком.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Да, ну получается, если мужик у ворот, то наблюдает за всем этим женщина. Радистка как раз.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have...
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better.
Сколько у
Will the
нас времени?
executions start?
Дорого именно.
Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
То есть неделя?
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Понятно. Ладно, на этом пока все.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Да, давай про татуировки.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Давай, рассказывай.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Delorian century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Интересно, свое тело не потеряешь.
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
Да, теперь его место в морге.
The times have changed.
Где погибший успел побывать? Ладно, в принципе, это... Хотя...
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Preto Grande, through what I think must be the Stads Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnese Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
Ревашоль на сердце.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Так, а кто может?
His platoon members?
Ну
The
да.
other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Занесем? Можешь жонать.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Вы на яхте.
Why, yes I am.
Кажется, здесь мало у кого есть свое судно.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Погоди-ка, на архипелаге?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
На Каире? Я думал, мы в Ревашоле.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Как бы то ни было, я не видел, чтобы здесь еще кто-нибудь катался на яхте.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Why?
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Давайте поговорим об экономике и роли этой вашей яхты в ней.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Нет, это символ нашего подчинения иностранному капиталу, плохому капиталу.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator?
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
Парируй быстро.
Your synapses
Ого,
flash.
нифига себе. Это здание было построено до революции. Да тут, кажется, и места-то не осталось, после того, как вы пришвартовали свою огромную прогулочную яхту.
Yup, that's the stuff.
Хи-хи. Как хорошо, что у остальных такие крошечные лодочки.
I assure you, they drove quite the hard bargain for this space. But you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my long, incredibly lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat.
There is no shame in her voice. A touch of sadness, yes, but no shame.
Ладно, полагаю, с яхтой мы разобрались.
Good.
Расскажите мне о Wild Pines. Чем вы занимаетесь?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Хорошо, тогда чем же они занимаются?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Ясно.
She nods.
Вы создаете впечатление умного человека. Мне нужно, чтобы кто-нибудь поподробнее рассказал мне о реальности, в которой мы находимся.
This reality.
Это связано с тем приступом. Мне сложно вспомнить даже фундаментальное понятие этой реальности.
Ah, yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Где вы?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Ага, а что такое Мартинез?
Martinez is a district of Revachol,
Район Ревешоля.
a very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Так, подробнее.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
Так, вы упомянули море. Как оно называется?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol,
Назови.
and the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Остров Алийский.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Как называется этот остров?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Это мертвец, понятно. А что такое Ревишаль?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism.
Чем велик?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
Да, лакомый кусочек. То есть мы находимся в ненужной части очень нужного места.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly. This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, man. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Да, вы правы, лейтенант. Я продолжу в другой раз.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Ладно, еще вернемся. Спасибо, пока что это все.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Мысль,
It's clear
стойкость.
you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
Вот что. Что это за звуки? У меня в животе урчит.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Клятва.
The vows are blood and flesh.
Так, что там несут мои кишки?
Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Еда, как скажешь. Но, что ты называешь пожестче?
Fascism, Bruta.
Нет. А что вообще такое фашизм?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachel's problems?
Так, ну-ка.
Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link.
Так. Левые академики.
Yes, them. But also, women.
Что, вероломный женщин?
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
А, е-мое.
That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that women need to know their place.
Интересно, ли это фашизм? Так, ладно. Вот во, я принял решение насчет фашизма.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
Не подумаю, я не позволю какому-то расстройству желудка управлять мной.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines. No, it is one of betrayal and disappointment.
Да. Какая-то новая мысль. Жалею дереализацию. Так, а у нас что-то новое изучилось? Качество майки. У нас, кстати, много очков. Давай разблокируем кое-что. Итак. Базовизм. Королевство совести. Жаневью. Там еще ешки, сколько вариантов. Так. Ладно, усвоим. 3 часа 25 минут. Окейшки. Так, на этом пока все. В следующий раз первым делом пойдем к Куно. Уже больно много они говорят. И с тем, кем надо, и с тем, кем не надо.